Ladies, this one is for you. Are you in a relationship with someone who is making you really unhappy because of the way they're treating you? I'm speaking specifically of men who are abusive, neglectful, um, dismissive, critical, hateful, or who don't want to work on things, and you feel like you're all alone and you're diminished and your needs aren't met and you're in pain. Now, a disclaimer here, not all men are like this, and there are women like this. I'm specifically now making this video for women. However, don't leave me anything in the comments that women can be this way too. Yes, they can. So just if you're a man watching this, reverse this, and in place of woman, put man. In place of man, put woman. This is a universal thing. There are women who are dismissive of men, but it's hard for me to make videos like that. It's easier for me to pick one side in my examples and how I'm talking, okay? And I'm going to share some of my own personal experience because I was in a relationship for many years where I felt like, why are my needs not being met? Why are my requests being ignored? And I couldn't figure it out. And I was sometimes mad, and sometimes I felt like a victim. But it's been many years since this relationship ended, and to be frank with you guys, I still felt something off. But the final piece that clicked for me, and where I got my power back, and where I was able to let go of being resentful, was that I had to take radical responsibility for the choice I made in getting into this relationship and staying in this relationship. Ladies, we are choosing the relationship we're in, and it doesn't seem obvious. It seems like I just fell into this relationship. This is just who I was attracted to. It seems like we had no hand in it, but we had absolutely a hand in it. I chose a relationship in which there was no room for my full self-expression. I chose a relationship in which there was no room for my full self-expression. And some of you are choosing relationships in which there is no room for kindness, where there is no room for you to share what you want because you don't want to share what you want. You're muzzled. You've been muzzled probably since childhood, when your parents taught you that your needs don't matter and that you're a problem when you have needs and you don't know it. So I'm here to wake you up. I'm here to wake you up, guys. It isn't your fault, but we have to take, anytime I'm in a relationship with someone who doesn't meet my needs or who neglects me or is critical of me or abuses me, I chose to be there, but it doesn't seem obvious. It seems like, why is this happening to me? So we have to wake up. We choose every relationship we're in. Sometimes people leave comments on my videos. Ladies leave comments. Men are always like this. Well, you're choosing men like that. You're choosing men like that. You're choosing men like that. There are opposite men too, but you're not attracted to them. That's the problem. Okay? And I was like that myself. I'm not picking on anyone. I'm saying this with love, you guys. I want to help you. And the only way I can help you is to have you see that you're choosing that. Now, why are you choosing that? That's what your brain and your physiology was trained to since childhood. It could have even been modeling. Like, my dad didn't show emotions, so I thought it was not manly to show emotions. And I avoided men who were empathetic and cared about my feelings. I avoided them because it seemed to me off, because I wasn't used to that. So what would it be like, ladies, if you start realizing that it's healthy men have emotions, and start being attracted to those types of men? Not doormats or clingy guys, but healthy men who are empathetic. Can you be attracted to that? That's the question. And for a lot of people, the answer will be no. You like men who are controlling. That feels like love, like he cares about you. If he's jealous and controlling, that feels like love. If he neglects you, that feels familiar. That's what Daddy did. And if we didn't grow up with a mother who expressed her needs and her feelings because she was codependent, as in my case, I didn't express my feelings and my needs because I just automatically copied what my mother did. She didn't express her needs or her feelings to my dad. She was a codependent, and I didn't do that either. I expected my partners to read my mind. I never saw that modeled, that asking for what I want, sharing my feelings. I didn't see that modeled. So I'm here to teach you. I'm 61 now, okay? Learn from my mistakes, okay? Learn from my pain and my mistakes. If you didn't see a parent modeling that in a healthy relationship, people express their boundaries, their needs, their wants and desires. And those of you who have been from childhood learned that your needs and desires and wants don't matter. You're going to have to find that in yourself. And then you're going to have to use a totally brand new muscle, which is going to feel scary as fuck. And you're going to have to start expressing that. I would like this. You know, this is what I would like. This is important to me. This is a need I have in our relationship. Not faking orgasms. Telling him to slow down in bed. You know, asking him to spend time with you or whatever it is that you need. We have to start speaking up because men can't read our minds. And a lot of people, if you make a request, you can find out whether they will do it or whether they're not. We choose every relationship we're in. And for a long time, I didn't realize that. I was like, I can't help who I'm attracted to. I'm just attracted to these kinds of men. They're very nice and respectful, but if they're too empathetic, I got very uncomfortable. So I chose that. And those of you who are in unhappy relationships and who think, well, I can put up with this, I can change him. You can never change him. You can never change him. You can never change him. A lot of you didn't hear this because you don't want to hear it. You're still thinking I'm wrong. You can never change him. People can change themselves. You can't change other people. A lot of you are not even hearing this. I thought for years I could change someone. You can't change him. And you can learn to put up with it. Every time I found out, every time I tried to put up with something, because I unconsciously copied what my mom did. I unconsciously copied what my mom did. I put up with something. I traumatized myself. I just traumatized myself. Putting up with is trauma to the body. I was hurting myself. And the longer I spent putting up with, the more trauma I had to let go of afterwards. The longer it took me to get out of it, because all that pain that I caused myself by putting up with was pain I blamed him for. It was stuff I had to let go because it wasn't his fault. He didn't force me to stay. Never forced me to stay. I fucking chose to stay. I'm here to wake you up, ladies, because, you know, you can have a better relationship than I had. You totally can. But I'm here to tell you, if you say all men are this, you're choosing those men. You're choosing the man that you're with. You're choosing a man who doesn't give a shit how you feel. And so if you want to change that, first of all, here's some tips. Start being very honest with yourself on what you really want and how you really feel. Be honest with yourself. Number 2, use this voice. You have a voice. Your voice has been silenced since you were a child. So you're going to have to put energy into your voice and start using it and just practice to yourself. Let's say that you are married to some guy who doesn't care that you, I can't even think of a good example. Let's say that it's, let's say that you have let's say that you and your husband have a dog, and it's his dog, but he doesn't do anything with the dog. It's all you, okay? And you're very mad because he never helps out with the dog. You walk the dog, you take the dog to the vet, you train the dog, and he just doesn't do anything. And you're mad. And you want him to help with the dog. But you don't ask him. You're just silently resentful because your mom was passive aggressive and your mom didn't speak up, and you're just mad and you're like, men never help me with anything. So first is like, okay, I'm mad that he's not helping me with the dog. What would I like him to do? What would feel really loving? I would love if he and I could take a walk together with the dog. And if he would also help with feeding the dog and help with taking care of the dog. So now you got to ask. You got to ask. You got to let it be known. You got to use your voice. And it would look like, I'm so happy we have this dog together. And it would make me really happy if we could do, if we would both be helping with the dog. I would like for us to take walks together with the dog. Or what do you think would be a way for us to have this dog together? I'm getting really resentful. I haven't told you I was resentful. I was holding it in, and I've been passive aggressive and resentful. And I need this dog to be something that we both do together. And I would really like your participation with this. Something like that. I'm not the best at saying it, but you get the idea. And then see what he says. If he says, oh, you're just a woman who demands so fucking much, you have your answer. Is this a man you want to be with? Or he might say, damn, I never thought of it that way. Thank you for telling me. Yes, absolutely. How about we take a walk together, this time and this time? That's the thing, but it's going to feel scary for you to speak up, and that's where men often make the mistake with women. They get mad that woman doesn't want to have sex, and they're resentful, but they never say, I want to feel close to you, I want to feel connected to you, I miss how we used to be together sexually. Men don't speak up either. It's a human thing, okay? But now I'm speaking to the women. So you speak up, and you make your request, and you may have to make it once or twice, and then see what happens. And then if he doesn't care, you have to face the fact that you're with someone who doesn't care. And you get to make your choice. But if you never speak up, you'll never know. But if you were to say, you never help with the dog, that's not good. That's just going to make the guy defensive, and it's putting up a barrier, and it's not connected. So you can't blame or criticize or yell or get passive aggressive and sulk. He's not helping me with the dog. He sucks, so I'm not going to do his laundry. That's all bullshit, childish behavior. We're adults, and we have to take responsibility for our relationships and how we show up. And whenever I see a comment that's like, all men are like this, I don't let it stand. Guys, don't tell me that I take the lady side. And whenever men make a comment, all women are like this, I don't let it stand either, because I've had to learn that we consciously choose every relationship we're in, and there are all kinds of people, and some of us have the habit of choosing the wrong people. Again, because it's familiar from childhood, and that's all we know, and that's all we saw. So we got to open our eyes and start attracting a different kind of way, start being attracted to something different, and we have to start using our voice and making our desires known and sharing, and that's called being vulnerable, and that's called being connected. Okay? Because there are so many wonderful men out there, and I see it in the life of my sons. I see it in the life of my sons, and they're not the only ones. There are many men like this who really, really care, and who are really solid and emotionally healthy and masculine. Because men cut off from their feelings, that doesn't make them masculine. It makes them wounded and not whole humans. All humans have feelings. And while women are more in touch with our feelings, men have the ability to feel too. And to the extent that that they're wounded, and they can never give you a happy relationship. So stop being attracted to those men and find out why you're attracted to them. And that's my, I guess, elderly woman advice here. I'm 61 now. I'm getting up there, and I have a little bit of wisdom that comes from my own mistakes. And the miraculous thing is, once I took radical responsibility, I'm like, I chose a relationship in which there was no room for my emotions. I did express them in the end. I did get to the point finally where I expressed them and they were unmet. And I still chose to stay, and I couldn't see what was going on. It took me a long time to wake up and realize. But once I worked with my therapist a few weeks ago, and I realized that I chose a relationship in which there was no room and acceptance of my full self-expression, my beautiful, healthy self-expression. And when I say self-expression, I'm talking about sharing my love and my being. I'm not talking about volatility or outbursts, okay? That's not self-expression, that's reactivity. Big difference. Self-expression comes from the heart. It's healthy and it's healing. And I chose that. And once I saw I chose that, it took all of the anger that I had left at him away, because I saw that it was all my own choosing. And I'm going to call this video, you're choosing him. Every second you're with him, you're not just choosing him, but the type of relationship you're having by who you're being, what you expect, and what you ask for, and how you ask. You're choosing your relationship in every moment. You're choosing it all. And once you own that, that's where you find your relief. That's where you find your relief. That's where you get it. Because now you can look at yourself and you're not a victim anymore. Okay, and thank you for watching my video.